Oh. Right. Here we go! Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Oh! Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo! Oh! It's painting goo! Oh, my shoulders! Oh! Oh, it's 3! Cha-cha-chi! Oh, fuck! Oh. Painting goo! Painting goo! Ugh! I sound off today. Painting goo! Aha! There's something wrong with my vocal cords! Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Ugh. I'm a stretching goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo. Oh yeah, nailed it there. It's painting goo! It's faking goo! It's 3! Cha-cha-chi! Painting goo! Painting goo! Painting goo! And my cheese flowing now! Oh! Oh, every part of my motor share needs a good stretching goo. Oh, I must do workout after streamo. Painting goo. 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 Painting goo. Aha! Frem. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo goo goo. It's painting fucking goo. It's painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Goo goo goo. Goo 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 goo. Painting goo. Goo 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 goo. That's it, Maro. Bring it home. Remind these miserable mortals the meaning of beauty and honor. Painting goo. Painting goo. Such beautiful music should be rewarded, should it not? Pay the monkey! Place a tip in his bowl. Look at him. Look at that face. How could you not appreciate such stoic dedication to beauty? If you have any honor, you will indeed pay the monkey. Because I do not. Greetings and welcome to another glorious episode of PEINTEINGU! With me, your host, demigod of PEINTEINGU, Defenduru-sama. Defenderu-beru-sama. Defenderu, fucking, I don't know. Maybe it's a change. Maybe it's time I change my name. Deeberu. Just call me D-Bear. Was it Bravey that started calling me DB? Oh. Remember when you were back in school, you always wanted a nickname? I got one when I was 30. Hey, DB! It's like, what the fuck? It's going camping with people calling me Defender. So funny. So fucking funny. Endearing, to say the least. Never! Relax! Relax, Stabaru-sama. Stay your braid, Stabaru-sama. Put the Tanto braid down. People always called me Big D. Oh, yeah. That's hilarious. Hey, Big D! Like, man, I would have said giggity every time. I say, hey, Big D! You know it. Wait, why do they know it? It's like, why do your male work colleagues not say, yo, Big D? Why do y'all call him Big D? Well, yeah, fucking. It goes from being like something to be proud of and endearing to something that makes you sound like a fag real quick. Oh. Yeah, I was watching your shorts there, Manuel. Your art class looks awesome. I think it's so endearing the way it's just you teaching like a lot of old people how to paint and stuff. Like, I love that shit. I've thought about that lately, from watching Owen teaching people how to play piano. I've been like, maybe I should teach people how to paint, like in my local area or something, like, because like Tipperary's real small and like there's like loads of community shit like that, like, you know. Like, I was wondering if I have to check on Facebook actually. I'll ask. I'd love to be in a chess club. I'd fucking love to be in a chess club. And like, I'm not great at chess. I haven't played in ages, and I was never like amazing at it. I'm all right. Like, I could play it. I have a moderate ability to be able to strategize. But like, I'm much more of it. Like, in gaming terms, like, I'm much more fast-paced action hack and slash, like reaction time, quick decisions. Like, I'd be more of a Formula 1 driver than like, I don't know what would be like comparable in that scenario. I suppose like fucking like, I rely on like physical skills and reaction time and like pattern recognition and muscle memory. I'm really good at like fighting games like Tekken and shit, because like I can remember all the moves like quite quickly, so I can like go through. I used to do that. I used to sit down and just sit there and practice and go through all the different characters and be like, all right, what can this character do, what can this character do, and then just like, I probably would have been really good at music if I didn't get turned off when I was in primary school. Blow on this whistle. That sounds terrible when you don't know how to play it. Fucking tin whistles, man. Oh god, like completely turned me off. Completely turned me off. I was like, I don't want to learn how to play music. Fuck this shit. Drawing all these like gay looking symbols, like. Yeah, I should get involved in my town community centre. It's like, and I've been there before actually. There's a coffee shop beside the library, and they sell people's art. And when we first moved here, the whole COVID thing was kind of it was still around, but it was kind of receding. So there was still like signs up and shit like that. Like, but that was still kind of the vibe that I remember the day that I went. It's called the Excel Centre around the corner. And I was told to just speak to the manager in the coffee shop, like. And when you walk in, you can see the wall of the coffee shop is just lined with like what I assume is local people's art, like. And I had a conversation with her, left me details and all, and fucking bitch never got back to me. So I just moved on. But I've said this before. There's a few things like the barbers around the corner. Every time I walk past the barbers around the corner and I look in, like you could just see my painting on the wall. And same thing. Like I left my details in there and all. Like and I've never gotten like a phone call or a fucking email or text message or anything, and like it's reality. Like art is subjective. Like, do you know what I mean? Just because, and at the same time, like it's so true what Owen talks about. Like, do you know what I mean? In terms of like enthusiasm and stuff. Like I've experienced that where like people would be like, "Oh my god, that's fucking like that's really good." Like blah, like and there's loads of enthusiasm, but then no one wants to actually buy it. And I'm not saying that like that's not me judging the people. That's just how it is. You know, like I'm like that with other stuff where I'm like, oh, that's deadly. Like I see an ad for something or some shit, I'm like, oh, I'd love one of them, but like you don't buy it, because you're like not right now. And I think it's because like most people don't feel like they have expendable income, like to a degree. Do you know what I mean? So they only really spend money on the things that they like really want. Other than that, it's like bills, everything else, and like I felt like that just with doing the stream, like, do you know what I mean? Because like I don't, like literally the only money I make is the money I make, and thank the gods I've been able to like keep the internet going, supply myself with paint, and other people have bought me paint and shit like that. Like, so I've been able to keep doing what I'm doing, and sell a painting here, sell a painting there, get a fucking bit of money on the stream. And it's not a lot, but it's working and it's going. Like, do you know what I mean? It's all up to like I do like. It's not that I don't like it. I do like. I like working like this, but there is a reality that quite often you get hit with, where it's like, well, the only thing that's going to improve the situation is you. But I think that's good because that's the main kind of theme that like made me get my life together. Like, do you know what I mean? Of like, if you've got a problem in your life where you're like, oh, I wish this was better, it's like, well, do something about it. And like I might have like a couple of days or a week or two where I'm like being lazy or complacent or just like procrastinating or some shit like that. But then there always comes a day where I just kind of blitz shit and then get back into a routine. Sometimes I'd stay up till like fucking 9 o'clock the following fucking day, drawing, painting, listening to music. I'm getting into a vibe where like I paint while I cook the dinner. I enjoy it. Obviously, depending on what you're cooking, it's not very viable because you only get like 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there before you have to like tend to the dinner again. But I really like that vibe where you have something in a pot or something in the oven that you just need to like turn or check on every so often, and I just have tunes playing or a podcast playing or some shit and I'm just in the kitchen painting. And I want to get into that like that routine of like having the energy to do at least 3 or 4 hours of just me work off the stream. Because there is a massive reality to if I do how long did I do yesterday? Like 2 hours 40 minutes. After I shut everything down, like literally the second I turn this off, there is like a oh fuck, and I have to like take a minute. Like sometimes I take an hour, which you like technically you would like having a normal job, like you do like 3.5 hours 4 hours or something, then you get like an hour break, 45 minutes. It depends on where you work. Most warehouses you get like you get like a 15-minute break in the morning, and then later you get a break that's like anywhere from half an hour to an hour depending on whatever. Like, but I'll do this stream and then like turn everything off, and I'll just be like, whew, holy shit. Like, because there is something to it. There's something to switching on going live and having people like, it's like, I think there is a spiritual, maybe not spiritual, etheric, like metaphysical, unseen, like, because like when you talk about unseen forces, like there's loads of shit that is like that isn't spiritual. Sonar, ultraviolet, fucking, sonics, vibrations, fucking X-ray shit. Like, you know, there's loads of shit that we can't see or, you know, receive the stimulus of without technology or without tools or without some kind of like medium to like, you know, for example, you could use water or something to like, if you were deaf and something made a big noise, you would like notice its effects in your environment and shit like that to a degree. But like, there's so many things that are just unseen, and there's definitely an unseen element to going live and just being you in front of people. And it pretty much is the same for me anyway. It's pretty much the same as doing it in real life. It's pretty much the same. Instead of the people actually in the room in front of you, and you're seeing faces and hi Margie, see the hand in the chat. Instead of seeing people in front of you and you see faces, and you actually have the bodies in front of you and you see body language and you see faces and you see, you know, personality, like the personalities and shit, and then you get instant feedback and stuff. Like there's a delay and I'm looking at a screen, you know, and the only person I can see is me, which to a degree is like weird sometimes, but at the same time it's kind of cool because it gives me it. I'm seeing what you guys see, which you don't get that in real life. Do you know what I mean? In real life, you'd be on a stage or whatever. You don't need to be on a stage. You're just like in front of a lot of people sitting down or standing or whatever, like, and you don't see what they see. You just do your thing, you know. Bye, my love. You just do your thing, and it either works or it doesn't. You know, you either hold the crowd, you either win the crowd, or you lose the crowd, or whatever. Like, and the difference is kind of staggering when you're doing it. When you're doing it in this medium, and all I can see is me, and I'm like, hey, there's me, and then it's just like a chat going. It's yeah, post stream recalibration. Yeah, that's based like it's fucking post. It's like, can you post stream? No, it's not PT. It's PSTD. Post stream trauma. Fucking deflation. It's like, it is weird. Like, do you know what I mean? Because it's like, I think just the same way the TV, you know, you'd have all these truthers and the conspiracy theorists and shit, which to a degree, like a lot of shit is true. That like the TV is like the portal, the Black Mirror. You're being put on a frequency, and you're being entertained, you know, to enter the mind and hold it and all this shit, like, you know, all this like esoteric Gnostic stuff, and a lot of it is fucking true, which, you know, just makes existence kind of like fascinating and terrifying and horrifying at the same time. Like, do you know what I mean? It's pretty much the same, you know, but instead of watching, like, I'm watching myself do a program instead of watching a program. It's mad, like. Like, it's a very weird experience, like, do you know what I mean? Because, like, in a way, I'm doing the same thing where I'm like, I'm performing in front of people, and I'm also interacting with the people that I'm performing in front of. But the two mediums are so different in other aspects, like that, where it's like the only person I see is me, and I'm seeing what you're seeing, you know. So like there'd be moments, but like this, where like I'm essentially talking to myself, even though I'm looking at the camera. So it looks on your end, it looks like I'm looking at you, you know, like. I try to do that. I try to like actually look in the camera and be like, you there, pay for PEINTEINGU. But I quite often end up looking at myself or something in the picture, you know. I look at Tobias, or I look at the painting, you know, and then I look at like the amount of times, you've probably noticed, like the amount of times I'm looking at chat. I'm looking at the chat when I'm talking to people, you know. Like I'm literally sitting here looking at a fucking bunch of words and profile pictures and speaking to it as if it's a group of people in front of me, but it's not. It's just words on a screen and symbols. Like, it's it's weird, like in so many ways, and it does take a toll on the body. Like uh, I mean, it's like it's not good to be like sitting for this long and shit like that. Like which is ironically hilarious for somebody like me because like I got big into the qigong and doing horse stance or like mabu, whatever you want to fucking call it, like stretching and all this shit, like to heal from the fucking years of like just being a video game head, just sitting down all the time, like with poor posture, leaning forward and shit. Like, and now I'm doing that like very similar thing where I'm just sitting for. Thankfully, it's not as long though. I suppose. I mean, I used to literally sit there all fucking day. Like, you'd only get up to fucking get something to eat or take a shit. It's ridiculous. Like, um, oh, the recorder is way worse than the tin whistle. Had to learn to play that satanic flute when in elementary school. Yeah, it's real gay. I mean, it looks like a dick. Let's be honest. Like, especially the recorder. The tin whistle kind of gets away with it because it's like it doesn't look like a cock because it's too thin. So, you get a recorder and you're like, yeah, that looks like a dick. You have so the lad who has a tin whistle and it's like, oh, it looks like a penis. It's like that nigga's got small dick. Oh fuck! I've always looked at like instruments like music is very sexual. When you look at a guitar, the way people hold guitars and all, like it's like like the whole the body language and all is very sensual. Is like that's what the passion you can get through music physically. Like pianos are interesting because it's not as provocative as a guitar or a tin whistle or bagpipes or like because the breath and the bagpipes and all, like you're like moving, you're like breathing and moving and shit, like when you're doing that stuff as well. Like accordions are awesome. Accordions have this like ebb and flow to them, like fucking fantastic instrument, like so complicated looking. Like I've always looked at people being able to play those things and I'm like, how the fuck do you even, like, you're like playing the bagpipes, piano and fucking god knows what else at the same time. Like, but piano, it's very like academic, it's very medicinal, it's almost like a physician. That's why I really like the sitar. Is it called the sitar or some shit? The Chinese guitar that's like lying down. It's like a piano guitar. And they sound deadly, like the fucking bang 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 bang, like fucking they sound fucking class. They do, like they have that real Asian tonality to them, like Oriental tonage and shit, like. But that's almost like you could like imagine yourself like massaging somebody's spine doing that shit, like with a piano or a fucking Chinese guitar, like. That's this stuff I notice a lot is like aesthetic patterns. Like fucking, I see somebody like Tom Barnett as like somebody who notices very like aesthetic and audible patterns as well, and then Owen it would be like way more audible and then aesthetic. Do you know what I mean? Like he can hear something and immediately be like, "Wait a minute, that's that," Whereas like a lot of other people wouldn't catch that. I look at shit and I see a lot of shit that other people wouldn't see. Great example was like, I can't remember the name of the fucking show we were watching or some shit, but like I was watching this thing with the female, and it was like some family, corruption. Somebody's trying to get insurance money by killing someone. It was like modern Cluedo. Nicole Kidman was in it. I can't remember the fucking name of it, like, but she was watching it, and I was just watching, I think the last few episodes with her. And there was a scene where Nicole Kidman's character was in a bar talking to a police officer, and I can't remember the exact correlation, but I thought it was funny that the way the scene was shot was like a side-on frame, so you could see the two of them, like the bar, you're looking at the bar head on, and the two of them are sitting at the bar, but they're facing each other. So there was loads of stuff behind the bar that started catching my eye because it's like all the stuff around the two characters, and above the black guy was a sign. It was like a neon sign, and I think it said Black Thunder or Black Lightning. I'm pretty sure it was Black Thunder or something. And there was something he said, or there was something on him. And I was like, there's a sign that says Black Thunder, and it's above the black cop with the blah, blah, blah. Because I remember going, huh, that's funny, while watching it. And she was like, what? And I went back, I paused it, and then I went back and I paused it on the thing. And I was like, look, there's a thing that says like Black Thunder above the black cop with the I can't remember the other like correlation I made, the other dot that I joined. And she was sitting there going, I would have never have noticed that. But I look out for shit like I do it on purpose. I do it intentionally. Cause that's what I pay attention to. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm looking for shit like that all the time. Like when I'm watching Attack on Titan. I'm on season 4 now. And I'm always looking at like how it's drawn or painted or whatever like how it's illustrated. You know, what things actually look like when they're making the move, you know, because like they only do certain amount of frames. So there's like the still frames with a lot of detail, and then there's the in between frames that they use during things moving, where things just look like a blur, you know. Like a lot of the time, like if a character is like somersaulting through the air, like, you know, Attack on Titan, they have these like zip line thing. They're like Spider-Man. They have these like fucking grappling hooks on their waist that allow them to basically turn the whole world into one of them trampoline rooms. It's fucking deadly, like, you know. And then they have swords with like detachable blades, and they have like more blades in a fucking, so that like they don't have to carry a load of swords. They just carry a handle that can switch out different blades, because they're like slaying these giants, and the blades get fucking, you know, bent and broken real easily. Like the amount of aesthetic lore and thought that has gone into like something like Attack on Titan, like that's the stuff I really appreciate. Like I want to go back and watch loads of 90s anime, like what's that thing, Guyver, and like Genocyber. There's like loads of like obscure ones that I've never heard of, but then there's ones that I did see when I was younger that I like, you know, just forgot about. Evangelion, that's one I think I watched a few times or saw clips of. And just like the level of detail of like, you know, these characters that are drawn and painted in quite high detail. But quite often you have the character, it's like, all right, it's your basic anime character, but then the mech they get into is like ridiculously detailed, considering they're moving it. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like if it was just a still image, it's like, sure, you could spend hours and hours and hours doing that amount of detail. But some of these fucking things are like, you could see the fucking gears moving, and like the tendons, pistons and stuff like that. Like, you know, the robotic hydraulics and pneumatics that are supposed to replicate how a human body operates and stuff like that. Like, because these mecha things that they create basically mimic like human anatomy, almost to a T sometimes, you know. But then they use like gears and steam and fucking, you know, like, or straight up just like, you know, plasma energy, depending on what anime you were watching, like, you know, or engines and stuff. Like, you got stuff like Gundam. And then I can't remember the name of one that I remember watching like a lot. It was this kid that could control a giant robot to a degree. Like, he could call it in. It always came out. It came out of the sea, I think, or it came out of like a port near on the coast of some place. Kid had a red T-shirt on him all the time. Oh, what was the name of that show? Basically, the kid would just like end up in situations like, I don't know why there's a child fucking ended up in these situations. I'm sure there was some kind of reason for it, but that was the main character, was just like this young fella in a red T-shirt, or a red short and white T-shirt under it. I think he had black hair, and then just remember he had this like, looked like one of them old arcade style things with a joystick and buttons on it, like, and he would summon this robot, this fucking easily like 150 foot tall proper, like, you know, it's gonna fight Godzilla, or like Power Rangers shit, like, do you know what I mean? Where it's like the size of a fucking building or bigger, like way bigger than the surrounding buildings sometimes. Um, like, you remember those fucking things where like Lost? No, it's not Lost in Space. Good, good. Like, that's very similar, Margie. Very similar. I was like, do you know that was one of my favorite parts of the Lost in Space movie? Was when the kid figured out that he could holographically interface with the robot, and he took the robot over and like started fucking doing all the shit on the holodeck thing. I thought, like, I remember seeing that as a kid in the cinema. I was like, I want one of them. Oh my god. Like, I don't know, 14-year-old kid being able to get a hold of a fucking holographic interface that, like, you know, wirelessly connects to a fucking 2-ton armed death machine on wheels. Like, oh my god, this is so much fun killing all these alien bugs. Like, yeah. Fucking hell, like, imagine like some Irish young fella got a hold of something like that. Jesus Christ, the damage. Is that a hair? Anyway, watch Berserk. That one is really well done too. I've heard, yeah, I've seen Berserk everywhere. I've never gotten around to watching Berserk. I will though. I'm like trying to finish Attack on Titan. I'll finish that, and then part of me wants to like I'm sick of starting stuff, and then I've got so many plates spinning in my head that like things just get left there. I want to start like watching TV shows and then watching all of it till it's done. You know, like, instead of like watching something with the female and then watching my thing and then like forgetting about it for a few weeks or whatever. Like, you know, like, I want to be like, I like routine, you know, that swaps over. I like just like powering through stuff and actually finishing things. Like, you know, I want to get the Tactical Turtles done. I want to do the Moosehead thing again. Like, all the stuff I have in my list. Like, but I'm getting the symmetrical out of the way first. And it's the same with stuff like that. Like, I want to finish Attack on Titan. Like, I've given the female shit about it because we watched that thing Poldark when we've got one episode left. One episode that we just need to watch the last episode of Poldark, and then I think that's it. It might be two, but I'm pretty sure it's just the last episode of Poldark. And I've given her so much shit about it, like, over the last few weeks. I'm like, I'd be like, what are we watching? And we're like, oh, we're not watching anything right now. Because we watched all of Lost, and we watched something else, I can't remember. I was like, when are we going to finish Poldark? And she's like, we will. I'm like, no, we're not going to finish Poldark. We're never going to finish Poldark. It's just not going to happen. Like, and she's like, we will finish it. It's so funny to be like, so stupid things in like your daily life, and it's your daily life, like, you know, like the like, that's what I think is so funny about Owen Benjamin sometimes, is like, there are people that look at him like he's like they idolize him, like they look at him like he's like better than them or like perfect or something, like he's not human, like he's not just a dude, you know. And they're like, because he said something there the other day, it was like, you know, he's talking about the kids watching How to Train Your Dragon. Great movie. The first definitely the first two. Third one's like, okay, haven't seen the remake, don't want to watch it. I don't know why they did a real time, or what you call it, live action with real people. Like, what the fuck? But How to Train Your Dragon, the first one, quality fucking movie. Definitely like really good for kids to watch. All about, like, you know, overcoming your fear, and like, it doesn't matter if you, like, you know, fucking lose a limb or some shit. Like, you shouldn't let it stop you from like crushing and shit. Like, there's loads of good like moral shit in that movie. Like, and the animation is beautiful, and the dragons are cute and cuddly and hilarious, but like cool at the same time. Like, great fucking film. And there would be a lot of people, I'd well believe it, I'd be like, oh, you let your kids watch movies? I thought you were like I thought you were a truther. I thought you were the off-grid man, the real man. Like, you know, your kids are watching Disney movies. Like, oh, like, it's like, these fucking purists, these pious purists. Like, do you know what I mean? It's fucking ridiculous. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so just because we notice all of the bad shit about modern society means we need to fucking throw the baby out with the bathwater and fucking stop enjoying life and stop like watching good stuff when there is good stuff. It's not all bad. Like, you know, I fucking hate that. I fucking hate that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, where it's like, you know, it wouldn't even be a good idea to be that much of a purist with your diet. Do you know what I mean? Like, your body would be like, just fucking eat a Mars bar, please. Like, shit. It's like, one of them's not gonna kill you. Like, just like, have a muffin. Chill the fuck out, nigga. Like, you know, like, just relax. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that, out of everything that has happened to me in the past, like, 8 years or whatever, like, the number one lesson I have learned is you cannot fix anything if you are not of sound mind. You know? If you don't have a sense of calm, like that cool, you know, like, remember that in the fuck was like in the 80s and shit, like having a pet dragon like Toothless would be epic. Oh, it'd be so fucking cool. It'd be so fucking cool. Like being able to fucking ride the thing and all around like that with, like, you know, doing tricks and stuff, like fucking be unreal. Like I remember thinking the same thing when I watched Avatar and your one teaches them how to use the big fucking flying lizard things. Savage. And like, I can imagine that stuff like that existed in our history. You know? Like, there's people who have tamed tigers and shit. You're telling me you couldn't tame a giant bird? Like a fucking massive eagle or some shit. You just put a saddle on the fucker. You're like, hoop you boy, and fucking, ah! Like, you don't want to fucking hope that thing doesn't get, like, you know, temperamental and, like, decides to fuck you up, like, while you're 10,000 feet in the air. Like, oh my god, I'd be terrified. Like, it's weird how, like, I don't really have any fear on airplanes. I've noticed that, like, I've been flying, like for me, a lot lately. You know, went to Portugal recently, and then before that, like, where did we go? France. Did I go somewhere else? Feels like I've been on planes a lot. But that's because I'm never on planes. But it actually does feel remarkably safe. You know, like, it takes off and you're going up, and it's just like even when you hit a bit of turbulence, it's just like, I don't know. I mean, like, I just don't feel like, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just, like, wired like that, where, like, I'll make dark jokes about, like, you know, oh, like, yeah, well, if the fucking plane doesn't crash me, I'll die or whatever. Like, you know, like, fucking, you know, like, well, even if you survive the plane crash, you probably just get eaten by a shark. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'll make dark jokes and all, like, and then, like, something will happen that a lot of people will be like, oh, and they start, like, grabbing things, in, you know, and I'll be like, like, yeah, whatever. You're like, we're not gonna crash. Like, it's almost like I deny the possibility of anything bad happening until, like, the very last moment, where I'm like, oh, we might be dying. like we would have to be nosediving probably for a good, like, 10 seconds for me to be like, oh no, we're probably gonna die. Like, for the first 10 seconds of the nosedive, I'd be like, I'm sure everything is gonna be fine, don't worry, isn't this lots of fun? Like, look at the bright side, it doesn't feel like you're fat anymore. Just pretend it's a roller coaster. And then it sinks in, it's like, oh yeah, we're probably gonna die, fuck. Like, I don't know. I do have to watch Berserk though. I've made a note of that a few times, where I'm like, all these people watching Berserk. Berserk seems like, you know, like, it has a really good reputation and all. Like, loads of people talk about it. Loads of people reference it. It's huge. Like, I've heard it's, like, fucking heart-wrenching. I've heard there's moments in it that are, like, fucking tragic as fuck, which I like. You know, like, I like when something you're watching, like, genuinely does get you, like, emotionally invested. I remember the last time that happened to me was watching that show Colony. Excuse me while I descend into proper PEINTEINGU posture. The stool was smooth today. That show Colony, Really fucking good. I don't know if it's on Netflix anymore. I think they took it off Netflix. But you should check it out if you can find it somewhere. It's just called Colony. It's not called like The Colony or whatever. I think it's just called Colony. And it's got the guy who played Sawyer in Lost. What's the other guy out of? I don't know the actors' names, but it's got some very recognizable faces in it. I remember like in the 3 seasons of it, like I was like, oh no way, this dude's in it. Really fucking good show. But there's a part in that where the main character, like one of the main characters, the father, is going through some shit. And it's over like his son. Something to do with his son. I'll try not to spoil it for people who haven't seen it. But he's going through some heavy, like, emotional shit, and it's something to do with one of his sons. And the combination of like how good that actor is and like how those scenes are written and all, like I was sitting in bed and I was watching Colony, and the female was sitting beside me, and I can't remember what she was watching at the time. I think it was like Love Island or something, like, and I was just sitting there crying watching this happen, like I was like weeping, like I was like, you know, but like one of those like cries that like your lip isn't moving, you're not like, oh god, like you're not like scared sad or like despair sad. I was just like staring at the screen and there was just tears rolling down my face because I was like, this is intense. Like imagine being that guy right now. That is like, oh my god, like high octane situations, life or death, like something going on with your kid and shit, like just boom 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 boom, all in the space of a few episodes, like, and just the way the character like processes all of it, like, and the way the character's going through it was just like, Jesus Christ. Like I'm just tears rolling down my eyes. And I remember her noticing, she was like, are you crying? I'm like, mm-hmm. Like, this is like really fucking sad. Like, I remember like years ago when we watched The Notebook, right at the end of the movie I started crying because I was like, that is really sad. like I would, that's what I think, like I'm one of those guys, like, do you know what I mean, like if it's like genuinely very sad, I will like, that's sad, you know, but anything else I will just take the piss out of it. You know, it's very rare that like I see something where I'm like, I cannot find anything remotely funny about this. Like, this is tragic and overwhelmingly sad. Holy shit. Like, I think like, but like comedy, tragedy, like they're like the polarity thing, like, do you know what I mean? Like, so I think like when I just finished catching up on Owen's last stream there, and he was talking about that, where it's like, you know, strong people can show weakness. It's weak people who can't show weakness, and it makes sense physically. And I've like kind of struggled with that sometimes, because like sometimes I think about like, you know, oh, did I just embarrass myself or whatever? Because like I'm like that. Like I've cried in front of people. I've cried on stream, saying stuff and all. Like I don't know if I cried during PEINTEINGU streams. Maybe. I know there was a few times where I'm like, oh, I'm getting upset now. But there was a bear stream we had like in the beginning. We were talking about potential fatherhood and all, like, and I was like, you think I'm not scared? You think I'm not terrified? I don't know how to be a da, you know, like, I was like talking about how the world's falling apart and all, like, and I was like tears rolling down my face. It's like, you think I'm not scared? I'm fucking terrified. Like, it's like really getting heavy, like, you know, like, and it's like, it's true, like guys who are weak on the inside can't do that, you know, because like the real like because I've witnessed that, and that's like why I'm like that, is because I choose, like, I don't know about other people, but like a lot of my personality is a choice. Like over the years, like you assimilate parts of other people because you see them as endearing qualities, you know, like obviously you've still got the stuff that's like unique to you,
But as a human being, you look towards, monkey see, monkey do. Like, you look, okay, people like funny people. People don't like angry people. Like, unless it's funny. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, you create this nuanced script of like, this is how to be, and it's good, and this is how to be, and it's bad. Vaguely and generally, like, And then, like, the struggle is trying to be you within that framework, because you want to be just you, but a lot of the times you can't, because you'll upset someone, like you'll upset a load of people. Fucking, you'll do something fucked up without realizing it because you're ignorant or some shit, or like innocent in that moment, like, That's what's funny about kids, because they're just like, say some shit, and then all the adults will be like, oh my god, I can't believe the kid just said that. But the kid is like, what did I say? Like, there's like that's why everybody hates pedophiles, because like, there's like this separation of the realms where it's like innocence, truth, beauty, wonder, all this stuff, like, as a child, where everything's just novelty, and then you get to the usually described as like cold, harsh reality of life when you become an adult, and that's not true. It's not true. Like, you get older and shit happens to you and stuff. Like, yeah, it's somewhat sucks, but like, most of the fucking like dissonance and harshness and negativity and fucking fear and hatred and sadness and all this comes from ignorance and fear. Ignorance, fear, and like, like, the best way I could describe it is ignorance, because it's like the fear of the unknown, like you don't know, and all this. It's just ignorance. You are ignorant of the facts to a degree, and you're scared. And that's stupid. Like, like, I do get the Christian ideology of like the whole fucking be not afraid. It's like, fear is the mind killer from doing it. It's true, because I was like that naturally as a child, and I got labeled like a weirdo. They don't mind you being a weirdo when you're entertaining them. It's like, oh, which one of the kids are we going to pick to be the main character? Oh, pick that lunatic that everybody picks on. Do you know what I mean? Because then we can justify laughing at him. like that's how a lot of that shit works, is like, that, like, the artsy ones, the creative types are looked at as like, yeah, well, they're a bit nuts, like, do you know what I mean? But it's like, we're not, though. Like, everybody is the same in most ways, like, I know there's a lot of arguments for like, oh, well, I'm not, like, I could never murder or rape a child, like, I'm nothing like that monster. It's like, that's not true. You haven't lived that dude's life, so like, you can't actually say that for a fact. Like, we all know that most fucked up people come from fucked up environments, and like, that's why you get these fucked up elites who like ritualistically fuck up their kids to like make them a certain way, like, and it's like a known thing, like, do you know what I mean? That it's like, there's all these phrases and shit like, get them young, it's even that, and that, like, with the Jedi and stuff, is like, he's too old. Like, it's like the same way that there's this purity and, this innocence and this, just like fountain of youth in a child and all this shit, like, it's power, it's potential energy that could go somewhere and create a lot of stuff. So for parasites, they look at children as like, oh, I could turn you into something I could make a lot of money off of, or like, I could turn you into the perfect wife, or like, I could turn, like, they look at you with selfish intent. They look at the child and they go, I can use you, and like, and that's how that happens, like, whereas like the rest of us, like normal people, fucking good people, will look at a kid and be like, you hungry? Like, you'd be like, what do you want? You okay? You want something to play with? Like, like, do you want some? Do you want me to get some crayons and a bit of paper? Like, like, that's how I'd be around a kid. Like, if it was just me and a kid in a room, I'd be like, are you bored? Like, I'd like, that's like, I would do this. with kid. Maybe I should. Maybe I try. I've thought about that a few times. I've been like, maybe I should try and do PEINTEINGU that's like really clean, like Owen does with his shit. It's like I need to do something that kids can watch and all. Like, you know, that's so noble. It really is, like that, because it's not easy. It's not easy at all. You can fucking like, like, you know, I wouldn't have been able to just like sing fucking all the time. Like, I would have to reel myself in so much to be okay around like kids and all. Like, it'd be so funny. Like, it'd be funny for people like you guys. Like, do you know what I mean? If you were watching me like desperately trying not to curse every 10 seconds. Oh god. If that ever happens to me, I'm going to scream Yahoo the whole way down, like the cowboy riding the bomb into the ground. Yeah, like I have a very strong like hunch that if it actually, like, if I was just in a plane the next time I'm on a plane and it starts going down, like, I'd put, like, you know, because the females that, like, you know, if I was just on my own, I'd be like, oh well, like, this is it, like, you know what I mean, like, fucking brace for impact, like, you know. But like, if the female was there, I don't know, I'd like, because she'd probably be shitting herself and crying and all, like, you know, I don't want to die and all, like, I'd be like, that doesn't matter, does it? You see what I mean? Like, even how could you say something like that at a time like this? Like, it's like, well, we're probably gonna die in a second. What do you want to do? Like, be a bitch about it? Like, just take a deep breath. Like, oh, I don't know. Oh, fuck. Oh, my body feels so weird the last few days without any caffeine. I'm assuming that's what it is. But I'll find out soon enough. If it's been like weeks with no caffeine, it's like, okay, well, it's obviously not the caffeine. What else is it? Like, slowly self-diagnose myself through a process of elimination. Right. Oh, I can feel one coming. Sumimasen. Right. I have my hat. The map is over there. Let us cleanse our chi and prepare for a new PEINTEINGU. Oh, that was a shit one. Oh, that was a shit one. Better. Good strike. Right. I send cleansing vibrations through the stream. The interwebs. The etherweb. May it cleanse your chi. May it loosen up any stiff braces in your fascia. Oh, in your nervous system. It probably won't. But we'll give it a go. Shit and damn are my go-to bad words. Yeah, I just say fucking all the time. Bitch. Like, fucking shit. Like, I'm crass. Like, I'm a fucking like, there is some truth to the, you know, you're like a homeless samurai nigger, like, like, I fucking, like, I adhere to a code of honor, but I've basically kind of like made up my own version because I don't adhere to like any known religion, or like, it's not like I actually go around, I'm a samurai, because I'm not a fucking idiot. Like, I don't know, yeah, funny, like, I am an oddball. Like, like, I am aware that, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm fucking, like, I'm quite self-aware. Sometimes, like, I don't think about, like, the meta-awareness, so, like, because I don't give a fuck, but, like, and, like, the female turns around to me sometimes, she's like, you're weird. Always makes me laugh. Oh, it always makes me laugh. The female will look me dead in the eye like, you're fucking weird. Ah, Grifu-sama! When I have some spare dough, I'll throw you a super chat to not swear for an entire stream. That would be hilarious. Every inch of your Irish being would be on fire. And it'd probably be a shit stream. Well, no, it wouldn't be shit, but it'd be weird because I would like have to think about everything I say that little bit harder. You know, like I wouldn't be able. Like I'm doing it now. Of course, for the whole stream. I've like you just see a throbbing vein in the corner of my temple. Oh fuck. My go-to bad words are nigger and fuck. The wonders of being raised in New England. That's something you don't hear like ever. That's hilarious. Like, like I think I heard a few Irish guys say that like when I was younger, when I was a kid, where like they'd stub their toe or something, or they'd catch their finger in something like, and be like, "Yeah, fucking nigger," like, and it's like you just call the fucking you just call the fucking like a set of drawers a nigger. Like, you know, like, or a car boot or something, like, or a desk, like the corner of a desk, like, you know, just like bang, oh you fucking nigger. You know, like it's but it makes sense. It makes sense if a nigger is like a black ne'er-do-well or a criminal, just like, you know, wigger or white trash. Like obviously wigger like came after nigger, but like white trash, vagrant, scum, like, do you know what I mean? Like all of them can describe like a any color, like, do you know what I mean? Like fucking like you'd be like, you thief, you cocksucker, you fucking, like, part of me does think it would be funny to attempt to have a society that like, because it's a release, it's a cathartic release of like, because if you couldn't go, oh you stupid fucking nigger, like, do you know what I mean, you're gonna have more tension. It's a release of tension, and they know that. I'm telling you now, they know that. Do you know what I mean? Like that's why that's why a lot of this has happened, is like, I'm telling you now, somebody sat down in a room and I was like, do you know what I'd really get them in the mood to go to war? If you don't let them vent, like verbally. If you say it's illegal to be like, oh you motherfucker, like in a moment where like that is really called for, you know. It's so simple. It's genius. It really is genius. It's genius levels of social control, social manipulation. I was gonna call it evil, but it's not necessarily evil. I agree. Like I agree with Owen's take on it. It's like there is real evil out there, but like even some of the most fucked up people, like, do you know what I mean? Like, sure, they may be touched by evil, but they themselves are probably not evil. Evil should be reserved for like that's why words are important, you know. Like some black guy robs your bike, you should be like, yeah, that fucking nigger just stole my bike, like, do you know what I mean? And just like you should be like, if you walk in on your wife having sex with your neighbor, right? You should be able to be like to be like, you fucking slut, like, you know, you fucking, you whore, you fucking, you succubus, like, you know what I mean? Like, we use words to define things, like, you know what I mean? And those things, that definition is important, because then you can have, like, it allows for succinct, accurate communication, like, you know, so like, and it's honest as well, like, you know, the congruence of honesty is so important for something to be pure, like, do you know what I mean? Like the same way a gun shoots true, you know, like that's why they call like people generally, like people like me, it's like, oh, he's a straight shooter, because I'll tell you the truth. But like, how funny is it that like that phrase even exists, because you obviously live in a paradigm for a long time now, where a lot of the people you come across aren't that. They will deceive you. They will lie to you. They will obfuscate. They will, like, and it could be anything. It may not even be like, a tyrannical overthrow of the mind and what it is to be human. It could just be that they want social standing in a really benign way, like, because I've experienced this growing up as a teenager, as a young child. Like, people lie about shit to make themselves appear to be something they're not. So it's like, it's not just, the father of lies, Satan, and like the World Bank and all this fucking shit. It's like, yeah, that's true to an extent, where there is the meta level of evil, and then there is the everyday evil. But like, I wouldn't describe most everyday evil as like evil. It's like, it's the trickling down of. That's why I wouldn't like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there are some dudes in maximum security prisons on death row where, like, you sit down and talk to him for a while and you're like, dude, this dude's like evil. But there would also be ones in the same place that have done similar shit where you talk to them for a while and you're like, you don't seem like evil to me. You seem just like really damaged. Like, and that's like, again, that's why Owen is like, when he hits the nail on the head, that like that victim mentality, so dangerous. A victim mentality is what creates villains most of the time. It's your fault. If it weren't for you, this wouldn't have happened. Like, do you know what I mean? Like Anakin Skywalker, fucking he even says like I hate you, no, like fucking what does he say to Obi-Wan about Padme? You turned her against me. And all this shit, like, do you know what I mean? It's such a, like, that's why that scene is so powerful. For people who don't like, Star Wars, like, I completely understand, especially because of the last three and stuff like that. Like, but that like, Star Wars, was it Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, is it? The sixth one? Where Obi-Wan and fucking Obi-Wan and Anakin throw down on that, on the fire planet. What's that place called? I can't remember. The dialogue between them, leading up to it, right before it, during it, and then like after it, is like, it's so good. It's so fucking good. It's so like, what the fuck did you do this for? Like, do you know what I mean? This doesn't need to happen. Like, you can just choose not to do this. What are you being such a fucking like asshole for? And then the other guy's just like, I fucking hate you. You did this. It's all your fault. Like, do you know what I mean? There's no. Like, like, you can see the point where Obi-Wan realizes, he's like, oh, I can't talk you out of this. And that's why I like Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan. It's like he's a good actor, like, he's excellent in Trainspotting. You can see the moment where he realizes that he can't talk to Anakin. And in that moment, he is like hit by a huge wave of sadness, because it's like, now I have to kill him, and that's kind of like, that's how you get war and shit, like Owen was talking about, all these incels. It's like the people that cannot be spoken to, the people who cannot communicate ideas and then evolve, will inevitably like just get to a point where they're like, all right, well, one of us has to go, which is like incredibly primitive and weak. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying it's like, oh, I'm sure we could find a compromise, all of us can live in harmony. Like, to a degree, yes, but like, there's always going to be the people that are like, no, fuck you. And it's like, all right, well, you either stay over there and we stay here, or we go to war. Like, and not everyone has to go to war. I'm sure there was like, well, maybe not. I mean, like, how far, like, no matter how far you go back, there was always the warrior class. There was always the ones that are like, right, we will go fight. But there's always a load of people of each group that don't fight. So like I find that interesting, because it's like, so like, Do you have to fight? Like, don't get me wrong, I like fighting. I love, like, everybody, like, I like violence, I like destruction as much as I like creation, but, like, it has to be for the right reason and shit. Like, you know, it's like, that's why I love the idea of dueling. The idea of honor and dueling and stuff like that. It's like, we will duel at dawn. And, like, you just have two lads. And, like, it was so true, fucking, you know, watching Owen stream and shit, like, fucking, a lot of his streams where he goes into subjects that I like and that I've been interested in. It's like he's not even teaching me shit I didn't know. It's like he's reminding me of all the shit that I watched when I was a kid and a teenager. Swear to God. Stuff that I just lost track of. I just smoked, drank, played video games, and I forgot about a lot of the stuff that I was really interested in, like history and warfare and warriors and, you know, the technology concerning weapons and, like, engineering and all this fucking shit, like, you know. And the idea of we will battle till first blood was the thing. You know, you would duel until somebody drew blood. And it's like, all right, give it a rest. You know? Because, like, to draw blood from your opponent, you have to be competent, or your opponent has to be incompetent. You know? Which means in that binary, you are competent. You could also be incompetent, but, like, if your opponent is incredibly incompetent, like way more incompetent than you, in the binary of the duel, you are the competent one, which means you win. You know? So, like, that's why it's so good to just be like, all right, you got a problem? All right, you got a problem? Right, fucking go at it. Like, and then it's like, you just have a ref of, like, it gets to a point where not even death, but just, like, grievous harm is going to be done to the self. And you're just like, all right, call it, you know? And maybe you would have to get them to duel a few times but it's like, you need if that's the only way they can communicate, then let them communicate. But maybe they don't have to die. Do you know what I mean? You know, don't get me wrong, some of them probably should, but, like, especially when it comes to war. I mean, like, the idea of, like, you well know there's, like, so many people throughout history that were, like, you know, like, if you were to walk up with a microphone to, like, all the lads in the tents and be like, so why are you here? It's like, well, I have a family to feed. And, so why are you here? I'm here to represent king and country. You know, like, so why are you here? You want to shoot niggers? Like, there's always gonna be a few of them, like, who just want to kill people and be paid for it. Like, do you know, like, mercenaries are a thing to this day, like, you know. Iron Man Barrow joins us. Excellent. If any of those words were said in front of my mother or myself by man or anybody, I guess, but mostly my man, but they would not see the next day. Griff 213 is fucking, you cheating bastard. I haven't asked for a number yet. Yeah, Margie's like, he hasn't asked for a number yet. That's so funny. Oh, I find that hilarious. Griff 213, and a little old lady from Tennessee is like, not yet. Sit down. Sorry, Margie. Like, I smashed my left middle finger in a bus door on Monday. Oh, hate when that happens. Like, right on the nail. Was it on the nail, or was it further down? The worst one is when it's the tip. The worst one is when you smash the tip. Oh, fuck. I screamed at it like it was a non-compliant field hand. It's only a door, but it was black. Oh man, that's hilarious. I smashed my left middle finger in a bus door on Monday, and I screamed at it like it was a non-compliant field hand. It's only a door, but it was black. Oh, that's fucking brilliant. You fucking nigger! Fuck! God damn it! Oh! Matt, what the fuck? Are you okay? I didn't know you were a racist. It's not a... Oh, you just don't understand. Like... Dude, did you have to call the bus a nigger? Like, do you have to be so much of a pussy? Huh? What are you fucking... You sticking up for buses now? Fag! Get the fuck away from me. Like... I think... Did Owen say something like that before? I think where he comes from in Oswego, New York, that like there's a lot of drinking and there's a lot of abuse, so like people are like that. Man, that's what Irish people are like. Irish people are like that, like, do you know what I mean? Like that is such an Irish quality to be like, you know, I can fucking get black, ah! And then like people will be like, oh my god, he's like so aggressive and angry, like, and then you, like, the same person be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, fuck off you. You think this is aggressive? You know, you won't fucking see me on Monday morning when I have to go to work, you fucking bitch. Like, it's the combination of a corrupt religious institution, a corrupt government, and sinful behavior like drinking, smoking. Well, like, you know, too much of it. I mean, I drink and I smoke, but it's like, you know, like alcoholism and like drug addiction and shit, like proper like heavy drug addiction, like and like how do you and the weather, you know, and the weather, like, to like fucking it makes sense that there's like this. Sorry, Mike. It's okay, Nick. It makes sense that there's this buildup of tension. So because people don't want to, like, normal people don't want to, like, you know, just randomly start stabbing people like fucking, you know, these animals from what would you call it, like, just like very poor regions of the realm or whatever. I don't know. Does poverty really have anything to do with it? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's more like, if you're hungry, you're going to be a bit, you know, irritable. But like, do you know, you see these fucking tribes people who like literally live in a fucking, like, a hut made out of sticks in a fucking desert, like, do you know what I mean? Surrounded by shit that can kill you all the time. And they're fine. They have 6 kids. Like, so like, they're clearly very sexually active, you know, like, it doesn't look like the woman is being abused. Like, do you know what I mean? They're all smiling, playing drums and shit. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like and we all know that like a fuck ton of money doesn't make you happy. If anything, it makes you a fucking degenerate psychopath. So like, it's not the poor regions of the realm that are the problem, and like, that's that Tikkun Olam shit. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, look at the people, they're so poor, they have nothing. They're so poor, they have no food, no water, no material things. These people are so poor, we must help them. We, as civilized, rich people, must throw our money into this black hole of piety and charity. It's just like such a fucked up, brainwashing, hypno fucking psyop country. Like, doing like these fucking cunts, these fucking like, did Joe Rogan invent fuckery? I feel like, is country a thing? I'm sick of the country. It sounds too much like country. It's like, it's such obscene behavior, like, you know, to do shit like that, and it's like jarring to discover that there are people like that exist, like, in your surroundings and stuff. But it's like, there does come a point where it's like I feel like from a very young age, probably for the wrong reasons, like, you know, for like divorce, family and shit like that, like, but I feel like from a very young age I was like, yeah, the world can be a dark place, like, duh, like, you know what I mean? And that's probably where the dark humor comes from. Like, it all makes sense. Like, That's why I love that thing. It's like, what doesn't kill you gives you trauma, but you get that kick-ass document. It's fucking so funny. It's just this cartoon kitten like doing the ironing or something, like with a set of headphones on. Like it's adorable, but it's so true. Like where it's like people go through shit, and they either like it's just like what I was saying about communicating. If a stimulus is communicated to your consciousness and your body in your life, right, and you don't process it in the right way, it can stay with you for your entire life, and it can completely destroy you. Like it can make your life a misery. Like, you know, because what happens is like just how like you could be standing in the middle of a field, right, and you hear a noise, and you go, "What's that?" Right? Your body and your mind are reacting to stimulus, and just that fundamental action, reaction, then more action way of life is essentially how all this works. That's how they're able to do like propaganda and psyops and all this shit, is they use a combination of visual, audible, and mental stimulus to puppet you like a bunch of marionettes. Fucking lemmings, like, you know. But then you get they're only able to do it because of no, they're not only able to do it because of ignorance. They can do it because of ignorance to a large degree, right? That's a big part of it, is like people just don't know. Which is why you get people like Owen, and to a degree people like me. You know, there's a lot of people like us who like are like, did you know that this happened? Isn't that crazy? Like, isn't that wild that this happened and that like it's just public knowledge? And people are like, what? Who the fuck cares? You're crazy. Like, because you wanna help. You wanna be like, oh my god, like this is the truth and shit. Like, do you know what I mean? But it's like I was talking about before, where it's like, if people don't experience it from themselves, then like it you know, there's a difference between the witness and the doer. You know, because they're literally two completely different perspectives. Like, you know, it's just fascinating to see how, like, because you know a large portion of it is due to ignorance, you're like, it's not their fault that they got manipulated, brainwashed, propaganda, like, and from a young age as well. Like, not just like, it's not like we were all 30 and we started watching the news. Do you know what I mean? Or like Disney movies or whatever. So it's like, from a young age, you've been manipulated, lied to, poisoned, you know, all these things. That's all true. But he's so right, where it's like, most people make the mistake, which I think is also due to ignorance as well, of falling into victim consciousness. Now, once all of these, like, truths and Gnostic, you know, truths and shit, like once all of these truths of reality, of how existence works, are communicated to you, once they're communicated to you and you receive it, if you then still choose to be a cunt, you're on your own. Pearls before swine. That's just how it has to be. You know, you get the warning, you get the, hey, don't go down there. Why? Because this has a high probability of happening. Oh, okay, well, I'm going to go down there anyway. All right, well, I fucking warned you. You know? Like, and we all know that, like, there's been times, like, where we've done that. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, you shouldn't be having sex at this age. Yeah, well, fucking try and stop me. Like, like, and then later, like, when you get older, you're like, yeah, I probably just should have focused on being a good artist. You know, like, probably would have been safer just to stay in and play video games. Like, no, I had to go out and get a girlfriend. Oh god. Like, you know, you like, there's so much of a difference between wanting something and desiring something, and then getting it, and then having to deal with actually having it and all this fucking shit. Like, it's hilarious. Like, and I think that's what Owen is kind of experiencing lately, and I feel for him, because he had, like, his heart's in the right place. You know, where he's like, come on, we can do this. Like, we can totally do this. And a lot of enthusiasm shows up, and then they do amazing things. And then like the enthusiasm kind of goes down, and he's like, "Is it me? Am I doing something wrong? Like, what's going on here?" It's like it's just people, man. It's like most like that's why I really appreciate Vox's take on things. It's like, look, most people are idiots. Just do you, you know, like most people are fucking idiots. Just do you, like, do you know what I mean? Like, and it's like those fundamental truths of like those who want it will take part and will stick around, you know. But that doesn't mean that you're gonna like hear them all the time or see them all the time and shit like that. Like, you know, like it is a comedy tragedy because it's so funny where it's like if you it's like the perspective of comedy tragedy could be so funny in both ways because like there could be a comedy on the stage and you're in the audience and you're witnessing a comedy. But depending on the individual and their life experiences, and depending on what is being illustrated in the comedy, they could find it tragic, you know, or maybe not even that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like their own personal experience. Like I felt like that before, where like, because of something going on in your life, like you could have a person in the audience watching a comedy and everybody's laughing at the comedy, but they're not. And then they look around at everybody laughing. And then there's the introspective thing of like, what's wrong with me? Why haven't I laughed? You know? Like I've had that, like that's one of those really fucked up things where like I remember having moments like that where like somebody was like, "Oh, check out this comedian," and nothing they said made me laugh. And I was like, it felt real dark, where I was like, "Fuck." I mean, and like I experienced what I felt like was like a little bit of tragedy, where I'm like, I exist in a world where people think that is funny. Oh fuck! Like, but it's cool to start seeing like, you know, proper fucking like actual fucking comedy starting to make a comeback. But it's also like, you know, like you see Russell Brand doing 1775 coffee or whatever on Rumble and shit, like, and it's funny. It's funny seeing, like, not that the ad is funny. I don't find Russell funny at all. I think he's like a hacky fucking, I think he's a weirdo. I think he's a very dishonest person in some ways. I think he's a coward. Obviously I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion at the moment, based on what I've seen. It's funny to me watching Owen stream on Rumble. And I remember thinking Russell Brand was funny in something like Get Him to the Greek or some shit, or one of his old things. And then the ad comes up, buy 1775 coffee and all, and I'm like, it's just such a juxtaposition. It's such a contrast. It's like real guy doing real comedy, saying real shit, talking about real stuff, and then it cuts to an ad, and it's Russell Brand selling coffee. And there's so many people out there that will look at Russell Brand and be like, you know, oh, that's Russell Brand. Like, he's that really famous comedian and truther, and he's got that podcast. Like, you know, Russell Brand, like, a great person and all this shit. When I see that ad, I'm like, you pathetic sellout. Because, like, it's all this, like, oh, yeah, don't mind all that woke shite, you know. Get over the truth-seeking side of so the binary has been remade. It's no longer, you know, liberal and conservative. It's now true and untrue, which is dangerous, you know, because if you're going to have a load of people who think that everything they say is true and they uphold the truth, you know, like Ministry of Truth shit, like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's a dangerous game you're fucking playing, where, like, we already seen it with the left. It's going to be worse with the right. Because the left was, like, fact checkers. You just have this annoying bird that shows up now and again. It's like, that's not true. Wikipedia says this. That's not true. Wikipedia says this. That's not true. Fact checker. Fact checker. It's fucking just annoying. But the right hand side of that kind of ideology, the fucking the conservative, like that, the Trump version, the guys that will actually do shit, that's way more dangerous. That's how you get guys like the guys in Germany who are like kicking in doors and arresting people for tweets on the internet, like, you know. Like, you have to be careful what precedents you're setting. Because, like, what if it gets to the stage in America where they start, like, you know, what if it did completely go the other way and they start, like, you know, arresting people for spreading a certain kind of woke ideology. I'm not saying they're going to start arresting gay people. They probably wouldn't. Too much money in that shit. But they might start to make a marketing shift in the sense of, like, just the same way that the crazy woke government in Germany is arresting people for calling people fat. No joke. Like, that happened. From what I've seen, that happened. There's, like, literally an obese politician in Germany, and some civilian tweeted that she's fat, and he got arrested for hate speech. Like, they actually showed up at his door and arrested him for hate speech because he's just speaking truth to reality. He's just saying it how it is. She's a fat bitch. She's a fat ugly bitch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's hate speech. It's like, what the fuck? It's ridiculous. Like, but it could swing the other way where it's like, if people say anything about, like, you know, even remotely woke, which you think might be a good thing, but you have to be careful, like, do you know what I mean? Because when you start, like, making these rule sets of, like, no, you're not allowed to do this, and this is illegal, and you're not allowed to do this, and we will show up and, like, pull you out of your house if you do this, and this. You have to be really careful how you go with that, like, because it can quickly descend into something like fucking Equilibrium, you know, where it's like, everybody take your daily shot and shut the fuck up, or else, you know. Be really careful how you go with that shit, like, because it's like, all they care about is efficiency and profit margins at the end of the day, like, you know. So if you have to turn your population into a bunch of, and, like, to a degree we already are, a bunch of drugged up, addicted, dependent lunatics, to a degree, like, you know, if you just take the population as a whole, like, you know, especially in the cities. But it's going to be fucking crazy how, like, all this shit pans out in the next few years, because it's starting to get really polarized, you know, because it's not like they're going to turn around and be like, you know, oh yeah, that's all the woke stuff's done now, grand. No, that's not how it's going to go down. Like, there are loads of them now that, like they are still a minority, but that's what gives them their fucking ideology in the first place, like, do you know what I mean? But, like, this is how I described it to the female. There used to be this many of them, you know, which is a minority like, here's the majority of population, normal, not woke, you know, like, not psycho, and then here's the minority. But now the minority has, like, doubled. It's still a minority, but there's a lot more of them than there used to be, because all these kids have been brainwashed, and all these teenagers have been brainwashed, and then all these fucking people have been traumatized. And it's like, if they're not into the woke stuff, they at least defend it because, like, you know, they think they're defending the weak and the innocent and all this shit, or, like, people who are sick and stuff, like, you know. It's like, oh, leave them alone, like, you know, you're being mean. That kind of maternal instinct that tries to defend the seemingly helpless and stuff, like, it's a wild dichotomy. It's a fucking wild set of properties interacting with each other right now, you know, especially with Trump coming in and just being like, nope, get rid of this, and they're all freaking out. The more that happens, which I'm pretty sure it will, the more that happens in different places around the world over the next few years, then the more they're going to feel cornered and they're back against the wall, you know, because they're already talking about, like, they're gonna fucking, you know, they're gonna, like, hunt us all down. They're gonna get rid of us. Like, do you know what I mean? This is it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they're fascists. They're gonna get rid of gays. They're gonna fucking make this illegal, blah, blah, blah. Which they should, you know. Now, how they do it is a different thing. But, like, you now have a load of people who unfortunately behave and behave and believe and believe like they are fucking demons from our perspective, which is so funny when I'm watching Attack on Titans. Like, do you know what I mean? And like, don't get me wrong, like in the meta sense, like I still do believe it's like, look, you and me aren't different, like aren't really different on like a fundamental sense, like, you know. But when you get to the point that you can't communicate with people, do you know what I mean? You know, and you've seen how they act, like, you know, these fucking lunatics, typically females. They're not all females, but a lot of them are like the most vocal ones and the most memeable ones on the internet, like, you know, they're fucking females who are just crazy, like fucking crazy. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they start bringing back lobotomies. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, well, it's kind of immoral to just shoot them. So why don't we just, like, chemically make them inert? Like, so we can just, like, put them in a fucking home somewhere and, like, generate some kind of income off them. Like, I don't know, like. But anyway. Jesus, it's been an hour and a half. Homer voice nerd. Sorry, demon. I hope it's. That's so funny the way Margie's just like, sorry, demon. I hope it's better. the demon crushed his finger in the door. Poor demon. It's hilarious. Mustafar. Oh yeah, that's the planet that Anakin and Obi were fighting on. Mustafar. Oh no, I just exposed my nerd side. Well, like, you know, I like fucking the ice place is called Hoth. The fucking city place is called Coruscant. And the desert place is called Tatooine. There you go. I'm a nerd too. Join the club. We have jackets. I do, like, I don't know how I will do that, but I do eventually want to do that. Not jackets, bandanas. I've said that before. I want to send all the Japanoids like a bandana, even if I have to fucking make kind of shitty ones myself and post them to yous. And then we like I want to get a photo of like all these wearing bandanas and all, like we get a photo of all the Japanoids, and then like I think it'd be cool we like get a photo of all of us wearing headbands and then make black and white versions of them from like just like profile photos from maybe like the chest up, like a bust or something, and then put us all in like Photoshop us all into one of them old samurai photos. You could do some funny shit with that. Like we could put like, you know, a fucking. It'd be really funny. Like I had that idea a while ago where it'd be really cool to get all the Japanoids in a photo. And then like make it like look one of those you know, the ones I'm on about, like the ones that were taken really early on. It's like photos were only around a while or something, like, you know, and there was these guys going to like places like Japan and stuff, and they'd get a load of like samurai to like line up, and they'd take a black and white, and it's one those real old school like Polaroid, like not even Polaroid, like you know, the fucking, you know, staff thing with the gunpowder on it, or the sulfur or whatever it is, that was it magnesium or some shit, and the you know, the fucking like the noise off those things is brilliant. It's a flash, a puff, and a like a shink all at the same time. You know, there's like a metal slide, a click, a flash, and a puff all at the. I love those things. Everybody smile, and they're like, like old school tech is so cool. You know, like. It's like alchemy happening right in front of you, like, do you know what I mean? It's fucking brilliant, like. But anyway, right, now I'm just fucking rambling and dreaming. I dare Iron Man to pray PEINTEINGU during an open house. That would be pure entertainment. Oh. And yes, I went home with a purple nail. Oh. My client may not appreciate, but have listened to Owen on earphones during. It's like, it'd be so funny though. Like, even just a still shot of me, like, you know, even a still shot of me like this or something, like you with a painting in the background. With just some music playing. Really? What's that about? Oh no, it's an art project. Oh fuck! I could only imagine the conversations that would ensue. Like the first thing is like, you know, the first thing I can imagine your average person would probably laugh and then would like look around and be like, is this racist? Is he being a racist or is he just being funny? I can't tell. Isn't that cultural appropriation? Isn't that one of those things that we've been told is bad? I can't remember. That's how you know you live in a fucked up society, is it if you're not sure what the rules are. Yeah, I love that episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. What are the rules? Oh, what are the rules? It's fucking hilarious. So fucking funny. The end of that episode is brilliant. We just learned a lesson. Oh yeah, Charlie's all shut up. We just learned a lesson. I don't usually like musicals, but like some can be good. You know, I suppose it's like if a musical's good, it's good. If a musical's bad, it's bad. You know, because I did like what's the Demon Barber called? Oh. Fuck, what's the Demon Barber called? Johnny Depp. What's the fuck? Put it in the chat. Something Street. No, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. I can literally remember like everything but the name. Fucking Sweeney Todd? Is that it? Sweeney Todd? The Demon Barber of Fleet Street? I really enjoyed that. And like, even though it was in a movie, like it was like, it's probably cathartic for a lot of people to see Sacha Baron Cohen get his throat slit and stuffed in a trunk. I got there before you, Demon. Got there before you. You're too slow, Demon. Right. What's this? I'm getting random messages from Asian-looking bitches on Telegram. Hello, flower smiley face. I got a phone call from a number in Belgium the other day. Like I have to like subscribe to Incogni or some shit. Because like there's obviously a lot of fucking shit that like my number and email address is just out there. Like I got a phone call from I think that's like the third time. It's usually Belgium. I don't know. Like there's like a lot of Indians in a call center in Belgium. Like, oh fuck. I find that stuff hilarious sometimes, but then it gets annoying, like, you know, and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, like, blowing up my phone just to scam me, like. Anyway, right. I've given you all plenty of time to file in. Been in here in an hour and 40 minutes. Let's get this show on the road. We have a new PEINTEINGU to create. We have a beautifully blank canvas before us today. What day is today? Wednesday? Wednesday. Right, today's Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. I have to confirm with the man of stunt if we're still on for tomorrow at midnight. I have to make sure I get plenty of sleep. So my energy levels aren't great without the caffeine. Part of me does wonder what I'd be like if I had coffee now after a few days of not having it. I'd probably be like, oh, fucking, like, bouncing off the fucking walls. Right. Let us find out where we are going and then what we are going. Srothamu, Temptation of Seppuku. Oh, that's hilarious. It's like, I was too slow to respond in chat. Just shing. Like, oh fuck. At least it's like, you know, accurate. Like, Margie, you getting in there too? Like, that's fucking. Like, the map's not even on the thing yet, Margie. You're there telling Griff earlier on, like, fucking, he hasn't asked for a number yet. I still haven't asked for a number, Margie. You fucking, you eager beaver, you. Like, immediately. Like, oh god. 125! Me! My number! Pick my number! It's like the lottery. Right. Yeah, I know! You said, let's see where we're going. I know I did. I shouldn't have said anything. Now I have to, like, now I know I have to tell you to wait. Bunch of fucking children. No patience. No discipline. Right. In order for it to be fair, you have to wait until I say, put the number in the chat. Do it now. Because that's usually what I say. I usually go, put a number between 0 and 224 in the chat. Do it now. Which means now. Do it now. I'll make you a deal, Margie. If somebody else puts a number in, and we've already been there, I'll do 135. Oh fuck! You just put the same number. Right, I'll do 135. PEINTEINGU. In fairness, nobody got there before. Even an old lady can type quicker than 5 other people in the chat. You should be ashamed. You should all commit seppuku now. Call yourselves men. Your thumbs are slow like glaciers. PEINTEINGU. We're going to Mozambique. Not if it's in Africa. I'm pretty sure. Is Mozambique in Africa? I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, it is. Mozambique is on the east coast of Africa. The timing on that was fucking perfect. Right, we're going to Mozambique, and I look at the chat, and it's like, not if it's in Africa. Oh, fuck. Oh, God, I'm crying. 7. We've already been to Anguilla, Demon. We've already been to Anguilla. It's Africa! Ah! Oh, fuck. 5. Andorra? Catalan? Andorra. Where's Andorra? Where the fuck is Andorra? Is that Latin America? Is it there? No. Anybody know where Andorra is? Where the fuck is Andorra? Catalan. That sounds Spanish. PEINTEINGU. Do. No. Where the fuck is Andorra? Is it Mediterranean, is it? Don't fall, you fuck. Oh, yeah, I was right. It's like around here. Yep, fuck it. We're going to Andorra. We're going to Europe. What does that say again? Catalan. Catalan's Spanish, isn't it? It's like a form of Spanish. Pretty sure it is. Jesus Christ. Lepacul. It's a Lepacus. Means ass licker. Lepacul. When's the last time you seen a word that begins with 2 L's? Lepacul. And it means ass licker. It's like you're really licking that ass. It's got that word has 2 L's in it. Like. Oh fuck! Right, we're off to Andorra, which looks like it's like near Spain or some shit. Oh, in fairness, like, isn't there Star Wars like Andor? I was about to say it kind of sounds like it could be a place in Star Wars. Oh! Sumimasen! Okie dokie. Right. We know where we are going. I'll look up an image in a few. Now we find out what we are going. In Andorra! It's Africa! Ah! And then, thank fuck it's not Africa. Oh god. Right. Oh, the hat is... We're getting through it. Won't be too long before I have to refill the hat. I still have that bag of random shit that I could just shuffle and throw in the hat. Grand. Okay. Need to focus my chi. The first snatchu after no snatchu for a wire is always difficult. Did I hit the laptop or something? There we go. Must fix framage. Right. Snatch number 1. Focusing chi. Oh! Snatch! Oh, that was close. That was close. First one was close. So close! Oh, I must be right eager! Snatch! Snatch! Oh, glorious. Glorious, glorious, glorious. It was green as fuck. What are we painting in Andorra? Perhaps some toxic chemicals! For any of you who have ever seen the movie The Host, that's like a very nuanced reference. You have to have seen the Korean horror movie or creature feature Host to understand me laughing at the word chemicals showing up while I do a Japanese accent, even though it's a Korean movie. Or is it? Is it Chinese? Might be Chinese. Can't remember. Great movie though. So, the first snatchu is a chemicals. Andoran chemicals. Still have sleep in my eye horse. Paintingu. 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 Right. Snatch. Number 2. Snatch. That was fucking green. That was fucking green. Anaconda! Glorious! An Andoran anaconda. Glorious. Chemicals. Anaconda. We could have a chemical spear. And a mutated giant snakeu. Glorious. Finer snatch. Huh. Snatch. What the fuck did I put that in there for? Thomas the Tank Engine. I don't remember putting that there. The final thing is Thomas the Tank. The way I wrote it, Thomas Tank E. It looks like Thomas Tanker. The final snatch, Thomas Tanker. It's like Thomas the Tank Engine in Dutch or something like. Oh fuck. Thomas the Tank Engine, an anaconda, and chemicals. Oh my god. Oh, this is gonna be fucking hilarious. I have to do like an epic battle, like with like a chemical spill in like a village or something, and I just have Thomas the Tank Engine fighting a giant anaconda. Right. Norone Reiki Rusty Snatcher. Correct, Desmondu. You are correct, sir. Nobody likes a rusty snatch. Oh, Jesus. Too flaky. Oh, God. What number did you select? I didn't hear you. Yeah, 5. Yeah, 5. Andorra. I can't remember. Like, we've obviously been to most places on the map. But, yeah, it's gonna be fun. Like, I was only thinking there earlier on. Once we clear this map, I wanna, like, we shall convene. I shall, hold a meeting with the Japonaita. And, might switch it up for a few months or something, like, you know, because I could just get another map, you know. But I think it'd be cool to do something different for a while. Like if we did, like we could just make it all random. You know, we don't need the map. We could get to the point where we don't need the map, and I'd just be like, pick a country, and then right, pick a thing, you know, and it'd be the same, like, you know, probably. Boom, 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 boom. All right, you know what time it is. You know what that means. You know what that means. Begin crapping for PEINTEINGU. I want to hear you all crapping for PEINTEINGU all the way from my PEINTEINGU vessel here in Andorra. You're in Andorra already? Yes, the PEINTEINGU vessel can fly. Crap for PEINTEINGU! Like your life depends on it! Crap for PEINTEINGU! If you have any honor, you will crap for PEINTEINGU. Right. Today's tunage. What am I picking today? You guys liked yesterday's vibe. So did I. Did I pick up anything new? I don't think I did. As much as I like the metal stuff that I've been playing, there's lots of ads to it. There's lots of ads on them. I might remove them, find something else. There was one though, wasn't there, that didn't have ads, and that was decent. Didn't I play it again there the other day or something? Can't remember. Which one was it? Was it this one? I can't remember. Was this... I think this was decent metal. And there was no ads. Because I remember being like, painting, goo, goo, goo. Like, you do that to every song. Yes, but it sounded different to every timer. Like, fucking Emmanuel, I'm having steak for dinner. Fuck. Oh, Emmanuel's chats make me laugh. But what kind of steak? Ribeye, sirloin, T-bone, fillet. Based on what you put in the chat, I will judge you. Like, I can't have steak. Still no bottom teeth. You don't have any. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh at you. Like, it's just such a. I didn't expect that to be what I read. I thought you were like. I thought you were gonna say it for like a dietary reason. Like, still, I can't have steak. I still don't have like some kind of thing. Like, you know, bottom teeth. Do you not have dentures, Margie? No. Sorry, that's caught me off guard. Oh god. Oh, that caught me completely off guard. How long have you been like that with no bottom teeth? So you've got top teeth but no bottom teeth. Are you getting dentures? You're waiting for Amazon to deliver your new dentures. Remember, I lost them. Sorry, no, I don't like. Look, with the amount of people I interact with on the daily, it's like at least 20. You know, like sometimes I'll forget shit, Margie. I'm sorry. For sumimasen for forgetting that you have no bottom teeth, Margie. Sumimasen. The next time I have a steak, I'll make sure to enjoy it on your behalf, Margie. Emmanuel, while you're having that steak, do Margie a favour and just look up. Be like, this is for you, Margie. This strip line's for you, Margie. Oh, I love it. Jesus, $1,800. Go to Turkey. Get it done for 50 quid. And like, what is that? Just to get like all of them permanently replaced, or can you is there no like, you know, kind of cheap temporary solution that you could get? You know, can you not get like a fucking go to a sports shop, get a gum shield, then go to a toy store, get some marbles, and then get a stone engraving kit. Carve new teeth from the marbles. You know, use the gum shield to get the shape. You just put it in hot water for a while and then like. Could you imagine if that actually worked out? Like, you just get some white paint. Like, I suppose you could get white marbles. You know, like that is a lot of money. That's like I'm not the same, but I'm similar. Like, yeah, I've missing. I've one. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I got 5. I got 4 removed, and one of them just like broke off, and like I needed a root canal, but like way too expensive. So like I've got shit going on in my. I've got shit going on in my head. Fucking. Last 5 years, easily. I'm alright now, though. Change of diet. It was the sugar getting me, like. Just fucking sugar all the time. Horrible shit. Strip loin with cheesy coleslaw and butter fried mushrooms. Not a fan of mushrooms, but yeah. Cheesy coleslaw and a steak, definitely. But I've never been a fan of mushrooms. I know, apparently they're good for you. And like the utilitarian in me is like, must just get good at eating mushrooms. Because I did that with bananas and nuts. I was never really, I never liked nuts because I'm not a faggot. No, that's not true. I used to like monkey nuts. That's hilarious. Every Halloween, I used to love cracking them open. And then I wouldn't eat most of them because I didn't like nuts. But it was the novelty of like cracking them open and all like. But then I like, I'd say in the last like 10 years or something like that, I basically forced myself to eat bananas and pistachio nuts, and now I like them. So I've like proven that you can do that. I might just start eating mushrooms. Every time I get a Chinese or something, I'll just be like, fuck it, put mushrooms in it. Like, but it's hard though. It's like, you know, especially with a meal, an ingredient like that, like depending on your preference, you could like eat, like for me, I can eat mushroom and it'll turn me off the rest of the meal. Cause the taste of it, the texture, I'm just like, oh, what the fuck. I have a feeling that like they're similar to snails. But anyway. I would never have a root canal done. That is useless. Just replace the tooth. Tooth or cabinet. Cabinet? you got a cabinet in your head? Like, like, there's a desk of drawers at the back of my jaw that needs a bit of work. Dick Fordu, welcome. Yeah, whenever I have the money, I'm gonna try and go to like a private dentist and like sit down with them and talk through like the different things that are the different choices that are available. Because I know there's loads of different things that you can do. You don't just have to do the mainstream shit. Like the way that I got my, like I had a split in my two front teeth. You know, your rabbit teeth, your two front teeth, your big teeth. I had a split in one of mine. From like sparring at the back garden with one of the lads, like caught a knee in the mouth, and I had it for ages. Finally got it done, and like all he did was like essentially use like cement, you know, like a chemical cement, just a really 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 powerful, glue, a really powerful adhesive. And then they get what is essentially like either actual enamel or like synthetic enamel or some shit. And then he just like glues it on and then grinds it to like match your tooth. And like fuck me, like when he did it first, like when I looked in the mirror, I was like, oh my god, it looks totally real. You couldn't even really make out the seam, you know, where he like connected it and all. Like I was like, fuck me, man, that was a really good job. I remember him laughing at me, like, I was like, dude, that's like a really good job, thank you. And he was like, you're welcome. Like, maybe he just doesn't get praised often or something. Like, I just remember looking in the mirror and I was like, fuck me, that's good. Like, maybe that's why he laughed. Oh, cap. Yeah, cap. Did you know bananas are radioactive? I remember hearing that before. Yeah, I remember seeing that on a YouTube thing, or something. Like somebody gets a Geiger counter and puts it near a banana, and it starts going off and all. Like, I love bananas. I didn't used to like them, but now I really enjoy them now. The way I see it is like, if a fucking gorilla eats bananas on the regular, there must be a utility to eating bananas, you know. And it's kind of similar to eating a steak. Sometimes after I eat a banana, I feel good, you know. But that could just mean that I'm really low in a certain mineral or vitamin, like, or potassium or some shit. Is potassium a mineral? Yeah. Potassium. Yeah, it's a metal, isn't it? Potassium's a metal, isn't it? I remember seeing like a chunk of potassium or something before. It's like a really soft mineral or something. Could be wrong. Or was that magnesium? That might have been magnesium. Can't remember. I've watched so many fucking shorts on alchemy, but I never really like pay attention. I'm one, like I've said this before, like I don't get really into stuff. I'm like very vague with things. I kind of like hover over subjects for a while, like, and then move on and then come back, and then it's rare that I like deep dive into something. Because a lot of the time I don't feel like I have the time to. But maybe I should change that. I don't know. What's the female saying to me? Getting messages through the ether from the female. Apparently she found a €2 coin, so she's off to the vending machine. Oh, jeez. Fuck's sake. She's trying to get her, she's after getting 2 work from home days, and they're after giving her a work from home laptop. But for some reason it's having problems connecting to the fucking network. Never do a gum graft. That was the most painful experience of my life. I remember you telling me about that. Yeah, that you got a fucking gum graft and it was like unreal painful. It's wild. Like Margie. Oh no. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Whatever you do, never get a gum graft. That reminds me. Right, so before this year is out, I want to have at least some progress made on a few different things. And you guys have been involved and like helped me with a few of them, especially the more recent ones. But so far, right, we have the tactical turtles, right? I can't bring up images right now. Maybe I could, but like I'd just be sitting here trying to sort out shit. But you have seen the tactical turtles, and I made a T-shirt. You like the tactical turtles. We also briefly created a bunch of different pigs, and because one of them was wearing a bishop's hat and had a flamethrower, I think the team, I'm going to go with the pigs. Instead of calling them the grid pigs because they were on a chessboard, I'm going to call them the pious pigs and make them all like Roman Catholic. And they're basically my version of Space Marines, is a bunch of like fucking like genetically modified drugged up pigs who are hell-bent on purging through fire and flame and bullet whatever we choose. Maybe it's just other pigs, who knows. Pick something funny. Maybe it's the turtles, I don't know. But then we have the Bird Bureau with fucking Gary Goose and Hercule Heron. And what were the ones that came up with there the other day? They're fucking hilarious. Travis Trowelbeak. I love that one. Every time I think of that one, it just makes me laugh. Travis Trowelbeak and what was the other one? Franklin Finefeather, was it? Franklin Finefeather, Travis Trowelbeak, Hercule Heron, Gary Goose. Make a female one. I always like having at least one female character. Because you need that dynamic in certain situations. You know, it's usually going to be mostly males, but you have like at least one female character for the feminine touch. You know, some dialogue options and stuff like that. Like, because like bitches love stuff like that too. You know, talking about you, Margie. Females love that stuff too. You know, females love comic books and shit. So you kind of, not that you have to like DEI in that sense, but it's like you should, for the sake of realism, you should put at least a couple of females in your stories. You know, like obviously. It's when you start putting a lot of wheelchair bound heroes and fucking trannies and shit and gay stuff and all, like that's when it starts getting fucked up. Like, oh man, when I seen it they made the Green Lantern gay, I was just like, Jesus Christ. Like, and it was really gay. Linda Loon. That's a good one. Just make her a crazy bitch. Like, Linda's a brilliant name for something like that. Like, the lads come back from a fucking an operation and she's like, you know, at the desk or something, like she could be the receptionist, like, and she's like, where were you guys? Easy, Linda, easy. Like, I'm just gonna text the female back here real quick. Oh, すみません。すみません。Oh, すみません。 Right. Gonna get an image of Andorra up, and we're gonna get this show on the road. Aha! Oh yeah, I remember this one. This is cool. This is very, like... Do I say that every time? It reminds me of, like, Soil, Halo, or Nickelback or something like... It's very rocky, you know? I wouldn't call this metal. Andorra is a tiny independent principality situated between France and Spain in the Pyrenees Mountains. It's known for ski resorts and a tax haven status that encourages duty-free shopping. The capital of Andorra is Vella. La Vella? It's got loads of boutiques and jewellery shops. Apparently there's a famous bell tower there. Alright, give me some images. Give me the image of Andorra. That's a nice one. Mountains in the background. Okay. You know, pick a good one. So far the idea is Thomas the Tank Engine, Anaconda, chemical spill. So far, that's the general idea. They've got some really cool setups where, like, there's a whole city in the middle of a valley and shit. Like, some of these images are intense. Very mountainous. Trying to pick one with the right, like, ratio of buildings and mountain range in the background, because a lot of these images are beautiful. Next time the female wants to go on a holiday, I'm gonna be like, I'm going to Andorra. Fuck me, this place is intense. And she's been learning how to speak Spanish. But I suppose, what do they speak? Catalan? It's not exactly Spanish. Be like a different dialect of Spanish or something. Okay, so half of the, about nearly half of them speak Spanish. Some of them speak Catalan. And then Portuguese and French. Jeez, that's a weird mix, isn't it? Catalan, Spanish, Portuguese and French. Woof. I kind of want to pick this one, but it means I have to rethink the perspective and size that I was going to do Thomas the Tank Engine and the Snake in. But it would probably still work. I like this image. It's like a really nice old school building with the mountains in the back. If I can pull this off, it looks savage. Right, we'll go with this. First things first, let's get the royal rag on my demi-divine knee in preparation for the goo. And then we are going to load this parrot with goo. We'll do a basic parrot. Some white. Some brack. Sumimasen. Some brew. I use sky brew, not ultramarine. Gives you nicer greens, in my humble opinion. Some red. Who doesn't love red? Red is the power of love. Rife and death. Blood. Love. That's probably a psyop in its own right, is like associating red with love. You know? Because like, it's actually more like lust. Because the woman in the red dress and all, like, that's a fucked up thing, like, you know, mixing the whole, like, red in with the idea of romance. Like, pink is probably okay. It's all a very feminine endeavor, like, you know, like, it's all about fucking essentially pleasing the woman in a lot of ways, like, you know. It's why most men, you know, like, actual men, like, aren't into, like, you know, fucking chick flicks and all that shite and all the, oh, the fucking romance, Hallmark, fucking Valentine's, like, it's like, that's not how men work, you know. Buy our chocolates and flowers and all this shite. It's like, nah, like, you do something, and that's what gets a woman fucking like, ooh, I like him, you know. I remember Chris Gardner saying that before. It was so true. Like, it's like, you really want to get a woman like hot and heavy and to think about you, like, fucking, she has to witness you do something physical. And he's totally right. Like, pee on knees mountain sounds gay. That is hilarious. You think that's a lot of languages? Apparently Russia has 25 different... There's more in Africa. I think there's like 200 different separate fucking things going on in Africa, with like 50 individual countries on the continent or some shit like that. Like, Africa's wild, man. And most of the Russian shit would be like pretty much the same, you know? They're like different dialects and stuff like that. Like, Africa's fucking crazy. Apparently China's like that too, where like it's not just Mandarin and Cantonese, it's like all these different fucking little dialects of them as well. Like, now, in a sense it's the same in Ireland, and Ireland is tiny comparatively, but like, it's, even though we all speak English, it's the accents, you know. And like, they're so strong sometimes that somebody who lives in Dublin can't understand somebody who lives in Cork, or somebody who's from Donegal can't understand somebody from Wexford. Like that blows my mind, that you only have to go like a couple of dozen kilometers and people are completely different in like some aspects, you know. Same culture, same food, same general shit and all, like, you know, speaking the same language, but just the way they speak it, the tonality, the accent, the fucking vibe, frequency, totally fucking different. Like, so fucking weird. Like, it's like it's actually crazy. Like, they got Cork, Dublin, Mayo, Donegal, Wexford have like really distinct accents and sayings. Did you delete that message, Margie, or did fucking YouTube just delete your message? I seen a message from Margie come up there and it just disappeared. The fuck happened there? I wrote a letter to President Trump. Come and see my new short video. Did you really? What did you say? Please visit Ireland, please. Like, oh fuck. My cousin that was Miss Tennessee knows Trump. Yeah? Your cousin was Miss Tennessee? Won't be too long before I have to boil these again. I can't leave it that long again before I take care of my bitches. I need to take care of my bitches. You did, yeah. At least you deleted it. Fucking. Ah! I reft my tiny mister over there in the Tabor. Damn it. Fucking contortionists to get in and out of here sometimes. It's hilarious. Right. Now that I have my tiny mister firmly gripped in my hand, I'm going to squirt her over this parrot and get the goo from it. Okay. Painting. Yeah, first things first. Nice blue sky. And we do it in a mountain range. And we throw the buildings in. Painting goo goo. Painting goo goo. Okay. I don't want to go too long. I've already been here 2 hours and 20 minutes. Jesus fucking Christ. I don't want to go too... I think I might call it at 3 hours. Even if I've still got energy. Because I want to save some energy for later. I need to do work the fucking symmetrical. Don't want to burn myself out. Right. Got a nice blue sky going. Mountain range here. Buildings. Streets again.
Painting. Make some green.
Seriously, the greens you get with sky blue are just beautiful. But obviously there's loads of instances where you just use ultramarine. And the greens you get would be fine, you know. I just like bright greens.
Paint.
Yeah, like I'm gonna have to go dark with this one anyway. Put some more blue in there.
That'll do, pig. That'll do. Painting good. Paint.
Okay, so we got a mountain range that goes like this, and then there's like another one that comes across, goes down like that, and it comes down through the here. It's going to cover all of there.
Painting. Painting.
How's your portrait coming along, Margie? Been getting time to do work on it?
Painting. 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 Painting.
It's coming slowly. Yeah, well, as long as it's coming. I mean, how long have you been watching me now? Like, the amount of stuff that... I've been doing that symmetrical fucking ages. No? Don't worry about how long it's taken. Painting, go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Oh, the beeping song. Seriously, what the fuck is the crack with that? Paging, go, 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 go. So slowly but surely, I will figure out like what playlists I've managed to pick up that we can play with no ads. And I'm telling you now, some of yous are already thinking it right now. But I like it when he shouts at the ads. I know, so do I. Paging, go, 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 go. Okay, just gonna make some gray here. Some thin gray. Watered down gray. So you can get the outline and the silhouette, essentially, of the buildings that are going to go in. Painting, go, 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 go. This is gonna go like here. here. Another one there. Here. I'll leave that one out. Overload. Did I leave that one out? Fuck it, we put it in. Painting Goo. Painting Goo. Painting Goo. Painting Goo. Painting Goo. Painting Goo. Right, back to making some nice greens. And they're gonna go here. Takes up all this space here. Painting Google, painting Google, painting Google. Oh! すみません。Needed a little bit of orange over here. Painting Goo Goo. Wall here. Painting Goo Goo. Painting Goo 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 Goo. Painting Goo Goo. Painting Goo Goo. If the Painting Goo album ever becomes a thing, it'll be one of the funniest fucking things in existence. Fucking 20-track album of just like other people's songs and me just like Painting Goo Goo Goo. Painting.
Paintingu.
Get some frothy crowds in there before we finish up.
Paintingu. Oh, drippage. Drippage in the village. Painting. Goo goo. Painting. Goo goo. Painting. Doo-doo-doo. Oh, I remember loving this bit actually. This is a nice riff. Yeah, I remember this now. Shit like this I fucking love. This is the stuff that like makes my soul like take off in my mind. Painting, goo goo. Painting, goo goo goo. Painting, goo goo. Painting, goo goo.
That's some beautiful music.
I need more euro. Almost out of euro.
Well, that I'm not out of yellow. Just this tube.
Right, that playlist has finished. I still have approximately 4 minutes left until I reach my 3-hour limit that I have set myself. So I shall continue the tunes for the moment.
Oh no, wrong one. This one.
Right. Do. Painting Google. Painting Google. Painting Google. Painting Google. Painting Google.
I was listening to some Dream Theater yesterday. It's funny you say that. I was listening to the Something Machine. It was like 8 minutes long. It was alright. I like some of that stuff, like the whole like the like, you know what I'm talking about. Like, Dream Theater's vocalist is very, like, he's very old school metal, you know. Like, yeah, no, like, the fucking, it's not hair metal, it's like Iron Maiden. You're like, yeah! Like, it's kind of like that, like. I liked it, though. I did enjoy it, like. Some of that shit I enjoy.
Oh, excuse me. Right, the beginnings of a new PEINTEINGU has arrived. We have arrived in Andorra, in between Spane and Franke. So, I'm gonna let this bitch dry, and I shall leave it there. And I shall return the same time, same price, same high-octane PEINTEINGU energy tomorrow. I hope you have enjoyed today's PEINTEINGU. I know I have. If you have any honor, consider clicking one of the many links in the description and supporting the stream through various means. Buy something, or give me money, or place a tip in the monkey's bowl, which goes to me anyway. Yes. In the meantime, be good, be true, and be beautiful. And I shall see you soon. Sayonara, Japonator, and all you other filthy mortar scum. Until tomorrow. Hi. Glorious matter!